Welcome back everyone, I'm Capacitor Games, this is EVE Online, and today we're continuing with our little series on using pirate and faction cruisers for running highsec anomalies and the resulting escalations. Today's victim is going to be the Orthrus. This is a very popular ship for this particular activity. This is what it looks like, a unique ship model, very cool. Here are the traits. Per level of Galanti cruiser skill, you get 10% bonus to Warp Scrambler and Warp Disruptor maximum range. So at level 5 you get 50%. We're doing PvE, so we don't need these PvP modules. There are some PvE applications of those, but that's like hunting officers in 0.5 or some other kind of use like that. Not very many NPC enemies try to escape, so we don't even need that. And for each level of Caldari cruiser, because you do need Caldari and Galanti cruiser because it is a pirate ship, it requires two different skill trees. For each level of Caldari cruiser skill, you get 15% bonus to missile damage. So that's a lot when you multiply that by 5. It's 75% extra damage, which is nice. And the roll bonus, which is static, is a 200% bonus to missile velocity, so your missiles fly faster, so that extends the range. But there's a 50% penalty to the flight time of those missiles, so that actually reduces range. The two things pretty much cancel each other out. So what we end up with is really fast missiles that get from our ship to the target really nice and fast, and that's a good thing. Because when you're firing at medium to long range, you can have 3 or 4 flights of missiles en route to the target, and the target will die, and that means you've wasted 2 cycles of ammunition and 2 cycles worth of firing time when you could have been changing target. So let's simulate this thing and have a look at the stats. We have 6 high power slots, 5 of which can be missiles. That's lovely. It gives us a spare high power slot for our scanner, which we're going to fit. Have 5 medium power slots and 4 low power slots, so we're going to go shield tank. Because there is only 5 mid power slots, we're not going to do a buffer tank. I am going to do an active tank, because as we know, we're going to go from site to site to site to site really fast. Well, hopefully, if we find enough sites to do that. So I don't really have time to let my shield slowly regenerate themselves. I'd rather just have a cap stable active tank, so I don't have to think. I can just go from site to site. Right, that's the introduction done. Let's fit this ship. We're going to start off with the missile launchers. We're going to go Rapid Light Missile Launcher 2, because as we know, most of the anomalies in highsec are going to be full of frigates, so we need to be able to apply our damage really well. Rapid Lights apply fantastic. Now we have lots of options with the ammo. We could go Scourge Fury, which will give us 324 DPS, but the flight range is still respectable at 47. We could go Precision, but I don't think you really need Precision light missiles. We're precise enough. Or we can go Caldari Navy Scourge or any other faction Scourge. They all work the same way. That pushes the range out to 63. The DPS down a bit, but it does apply better than the Furies. So I think we'll probably go for Navy, because that's a good balance of range, application and damage. I might carry some Fury on board just for killing cruisers in dens or the 4 out of 10 escalation that we're hoping to get. And the final high slot will of course be a Sisters probe launcher, just like that, and we'll get some Sisters scan probes in there. That's that done. Right, shield tank time. Let's go to shield, get ourselves a large enduring shield booster. Resistances are not great, so we're going to put on a multi-spectrum shield hardener 2, and I'm going to put a large compact cap battery on just for some capacitor. Now, another missile we could have used was the auto-targeting missiles. These will just automatically fire at the closest enemy in range, but they only fire on aggressive targets, so you have to somehow get the enemies to aggress you, and that can be a bit of a pain in the ass. So I'm not going to be using them. Now, a lot of Orthrus pilots do use these auto-targeting missiles, because if you're lucky, you can go from site to site to site before the missile cycle ends. So you can keep aggression and just press F1 once, like group all your missiles, press F1 once, and your ship basically runs the site itself. I will not be doing that because I don't trust the auto-targeting missiles to actually target. Speaking of targeting, let's get a sensor booster on this thing so I can target lock nice and fast. Now, if you're using auto-targeting missiles, you don't actually need a sensor booster because you shouldn't have to target anything. The missiles should fire on everything all by themselves. But as I said, I don't trust them. Right, propulsion. We've probably got enough power grid to do a micro warp drive. I mean, Orthrus are extremely fast. 2183 is really fast. Do we need to be that fast on this ship? Probably not. So we'll do an Tech 2 10 meganewton afterburner. 794 is probably more than fast enough for anything we need to do. I can't think of why we'd need to be zipping around at 2k. Maybe we'll just put a micro warp drive on anyway. Sod it, let's do it. Turn it off to simulate the fit as it would be when it's fighting. We won't have to move when we're fighting because missiles. Because the tank should be good enough to hold out on its own. Right, speaking of missiles, let's get some damage modules in the low slot, shall we? We'll go for 3 ballistic control system 2s. 2, 3. 3 I said. And the last low slot, probably a Cap Flux Coil just to help the Cap out a little bit. Cap's still not happy, so we're going to have to do some Cap rigs. Engineering, Cap Control Circuit 2. And another Cap Control Circuit 2. Okay, we're stable. Do we still need the Flux Coil? Apparently, yes we do. Okay. And the last rig, let's just do a warp speed rig, because we know getting from site to site nice and quick is what we want to do. We haven't put any drones on this thing yet. Let's do that. It does have a 25 cubic meter drone bay and 25 megabits, and that means we're doing 5 light scout drones. We're just going to do Caldari Navy Hornets. We'll just bang in 5 of them. 5 I said, there we go. And that gives us 524 DPS, respectable. It will apply that very well because it's A, Caldari Navy Scourge light missiles, and B, rapid light missile launchers. So this will apply really well. If we want to, we can carry some Scourge Fury. That will put the DPS up to 621, which is quite a big jump from 524. I mean, it's almost 100 DPS more. So we'll just drag one of them into cargo. We'll buy like 1,000 of those. I was going to say quickly reload to that if we meet cruisers, but then it's rapid light missiles and they take 35 seconds to reload. Okay, now we have a decision to make. Do we want to go Fury with this fit? Because we know that in the 4 out of 10, in the second room, we will spawn roughly 45 kilometres away from the telescope, and that will allow our Tech 2 Scourge Fury to hit it straight away. Now, is the extra damage large enough to overcome the slightly worse application? You know, if I was worried about application, I'd do precision, but then the DPS drops off. So these are doing 289 per missile, and the Fury does 353. Is that enough to overcome the slightly worse application? Probably yes. So I think we're going to go Scourge Fury on this fit. No, we're not. We're going to do Navy. I'll just stick with what we had originally. We know that we don't need much DPS to kill things in high-sec sites. The drones are only supplying 84.4. They're really there just to draw aggro to themselves, really, more than anything else. How long does a Cap last with the micro warp drive on? 2 minutes 20? That's fine. Stable, more than stable without it, so that's good. Right, I shall go and buy this, and then I shall meet you in space when we're running some sites. So let's go. Okay, here we go. Back in our normal hunting ground. So let's get going, shall we? Get rid of the ore belts. Don't need those. 3 refuges. We know that we're kept stable with all this stuff running, so we'll just turn it all on. Right, let's see how well this thing operates. I think we all know the answer. It's going to be amazing. Let's just put the probe launcher all the way over there so I don't accidentally click on it. I'm going to right click the micro watt drive and set auto repeat off, so each time we click that button we only get 1 cycle of it. That's less micromanagement for me to do. I can't imagine why we'd need to move it 2,000 meters a second for any more than 1 single cycle. I'm going to put the drones out just so they can help. They can go and chew on the turrets. I'm just going to put 1 missile on each of these guys, and there they go, dead. Now, one thing about the ammo, when I was buying the ammo, it turns out that the Caldari Navy light missiles are 700 ISK each, and Tech 2 are only like 40 or something. So yeah. Maybe the Fury would have been a better choice. But we've gone for Navy because we know it's got the range and the application. It's a good mix of each. I'm just going to put 1 missile in each because I just want to see how much damage each missile does. I mean, it's just clearing house, isn't it? I mean, we knew it would. Dear God, the drones have nearly killed the other battery all on their own. And once the light missile battery is down, we'll get the drones to kill the wrecker. I mean, yeah, this is just life as an Orthrus, really. You just blitz everything. And of course, the plan is to kill everything and then reload your weapons as you walk to the next site.
Warp drive active.
It's a 35-second reload time. Because I got a warp speed rig, we're probably going to land about halfway through our reload cycle, but that's not the end of the world. We could, of course, have done heavy missiles or heavy assaults, but they apply much worse. Yeah, and we're just about landing at the same time as our reload cycle ends. In fact, that was absolutely perfect. Well done, me. Only because this system's so large and the distances between everything are huge. If everything was slightly closer together, we wouldn't have gotten away with that. Again, the faster targeting speed is coming in handy. Everything's just absolutely melting because of rapid light missiles. That's just what they do. They apply really well. Alright, drones, go and get that guy. And missile, get that guy. And another missile, and dead. Well, no escalation yet and no commander, but we are only on the second site of the day. I do like that the missiles fly really fast on the Orthrus. Drat. No commander and no escalation. Again, we'll just reload as soon as everything dies and hope that
Warp drive active.
we actually manage to finish the reload by the time we reach the next site. Probably not. It's only 6 AU away. Again, there's like 30 odd people in local, but I think Eve University kind of live round here, so there's lots of Eve Uni people. And there's a lot of ice belts in the area, so there's a lot of ice miners here as well. So I shall keep running this, and then I'll bring you back when we find a hideaway, and we'll see how quickly we can do hideaways in this thing. And of course, if there's a commander or escalation, I'll bring you back for that as well. Okay, we have a hideaway. We're en route. Let's just turn everything on. See how quickly we can get the scanning done, and there's hideaway, of course. Then when you get a scanning thing with what looks like a dumbbell, it's always the one that's furthest away. It looks like this is the 15-kilometre one. Yes, it is. Not that the range really matters for us, because, you know, missiles. And as you see on the scan, that was indeed the one that was furthest away. I think the drones are going to get that guy. It's only an infiltrator, it'll die really quickly. There we go. All hideaways don't take very long, do they? That was very easy. Again, just check my salvage tab, make sure I didn't miss a commander. No, I didn't. On to the next site.
Warp drive active.
As usual, I'll bring you back if anything cool happens, like if we get a commander or something. Right, looks like we have a den in this system, so let's investigate dens, see how fast we can do those. This is a light missile battery version, okay. Now this is all going to be frigates and destroyers. Get the drones out, get them on the go. One missile on everything. Keep scanning while we kill everything in the background. There we go. It's a wormhole, don't want that. And with this next scan result, it's definitely within 4 AU of a planet, and it's the only planet that's anywhere near it, so we'll just put the probes at 4 AU, centered on the planet. There we go. Instant red ping, decent strength. Have to kill the light missile batteries to get the reinforcements now. Another wormhole, of course. What else would it be? Come on, reinforcements. There we go. I really don't want to run out of missiles during a site. That would be a bad thing. But I think we'll be okay. Just get 2 on that, 3 on this. Boop. Application, not a problem. Well, that was short and sweet. Onwards to the next site, let's go. Oh, we have a commander. We have a commander. At long last, first commander of the day. Right, let's see where he's dropped. Get over there, turn the micro arc drive off. Slow the ship so we don't crash into it. Someone else is here. And just some pretty good stuff. Apparently, these Guristas missiles are worth 68 million. That's nice. So we'll take all this. We'll just abandon everything else and then move on.
Warp drive active.
Right, well, there's way too much competition here, so I'm moving to a different place. We got one commander who dropped 1,000 Dread Guristas missiles, and apparently you can indeed sell these for 60,000 each, and we got 1,000 of them, so 60,000 times 1,000 is 60.8 million ISK. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely insane that anyone's actually buying light missiles at that price. But there you go.
Warp drive
EVE Online be weird, yo. Anyway, I'll keep going until we get an escalation, and then we'll run that together. So, I'll see you soon, hopefully. Now we got a second commander, and just some Guristas Scourge. 498,000. Worth picking up? Nah, probably. We'll just take them.
Warp drive active.
Well, at least something new has happened. Here's a den with heavy missiles. So let's see how we clear this site. I'm going to put one of my own missiles in each of the 5 starting NPCs, and the drones will go and chew in the heavy missile batteries. Boom, 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 all dead. And here come the cruisers and destroyers. I'm just going to help out the drones. I'm just going to blast the destroyers with 2 missiles each. There we go. And then 4. Took a big whack there because the missile batteries both hit at the same time. But the rate of fire is not huge, so that's fine. Let the drones kill the towers, I'll kill everything else. I mean, we're just blazing through. As we knew we would. Right, let's get rid of the frigates first. Thank you. Might have to reload during this site, that's not great. I did reload just before we came in here. That's kind of why I'm splitting my missiles, because I don't want to do overkill. I don't want to fire a full volley of 5 missiles and then the target died when it only needed 1, because that would be a waste of 4 shots.
A module has run out of charges.
Okay, one of our missile launchers has run out of ammo.
A module has run out of
That's
charges.
another one. And
A
the
module
other
has
3.
run out of charges.
Damn it.
A module has run out of charges.
Drones, you're on your own for a little while until I can reload my ship. This is the problem with rapid lights and running big sites. You do run out of ammo, and it's a pain in the balls. Come on, missiles, reload, please. And we've been jammed, that's why we suddenly lost all of our target locks, apart from the lock on the thing which was jamming us. But that's going to go away pretty quickly because we have reloaded at long last. There is no way of speeding up the reload time on rapid light missiles. It is what it is. What it is painful. Right, reload, bring the drones back, check there were no commander wrecks, and on we go to the next one. Okay, looks like someone else is clearing here.
Warp drive active.
Because there were 3 dens, now there's only 1. Right, that's the end of 2 entire constellations, and I only found these 2 or 3 commanders, and only one of them dropped anything good, and we got no escalations.
Warp drive
It's also
active.
been painful running out of ammo just before the final wave in a den. So I'm going to go back to Jita and I'm going to buy some Tech 2 Fury missiles, and we'll see if the extra damage from those is better or worse than having the better application and range from the Caldari Navy. I mean, the range is not the issue, it's more the damage versus application thing. So I'll go and buy some Tech 2 missiles and then we'll find someone else to run. I'm going to keep going until I get a 4 out of 10, either by finding it in the wild or by having it awarded as an escalation.
Active.
So I'll bring you back when all that's been done. Alright, a destroyer commander in a refuge at long last. Right, let's see what he had. Again, just some missiles which are worth not a lot. I mean, it's not great. Okay, Tech 2 Scourge Fury ammunition has been acquired. Here it is, and it's also loaded into the ship. Let's go to a refuge and see if this is any better. Of course, the litmus test will be in dens, so we'll have to find somewhere that's got dens and see if we can complete dens without having to reload. I'm hoping this is going to be better, but we shall see. No, we be one-shotting frigates, so that's encouraging. It tells me the application's not a problem. Yeah, but just like mashing up the frigates, that's good. Okay. So we did not need the Kandari Navy ammo. This is good to know. This thing disappeared not because we killed it, but because we got jammed. Now it's dead. Okay, looks like Tech 2 Fury is the way to go. Interesting. Yep, that seems to work just fine, and that took what? Between 4 and 6 missiles each? It's not bad. Right, I'll keep moving, and hopefully we'll get a 4 out of 10. Oh, at long last, we have an escalation, and out with the corner of my eye, I spotted a commander as well, so that's good. Just hope that this escalation is in high sec. What do we say? Low sec, of course it is. Right, I'm not doing that one. Nothing good in the commander box either. Oh dear.
Warp drive active.
Aha, we have a den. So let's go to the den.
Warp drive active.
Reload first and see whether or not we can complete a den without reloading. This is the whole point of buying the Tech 2 Scourge Fury light missiles. Let's see if it works. Come on, missiles, reload faster. It's a light missile battery version. Doesn't matter, we were running out of ammo in both versions previously. Here we go. So far so good, I think. Oh, missed one little frigate there. There he is. That's the next lot of reinforcements on the way. Okay, Fury missiles seem to be the correct choice. The extra damage from the Fury is more than outweighing the slightly worse application. I say slightly worse, I mean they're still light missiles, they're still going to apply just fine to frigates and stuff, as we see. Still got lots of ammo left, that's good. I mean, ideally we would find a heavy missile den. Okay. We've still got lots of ammo left and it's the site complete. But again, that was not a heavy missile one.
Warp drive active.
Well, this is the last combat site in the final system of the final constellation, which I have travelled. I've done 4 entire constellations. We ain't found nothing good. So, I'm going to go back to the start and do all this again, and I'm going to keep going until I get a 4 out of 10. Wish me luck. Okay, we've found a 410 via scanning. I'm just going to very quickly clear this hideaway that I've warped to whilst I was scanning for that site, and then we'll go to the scan site and we'll hope that none of the other 2 people in the system are in the site. If I can't get an escalation, I'll just find them in the wild, I guess. 1, 2, 2 you, 3 more to go. Oh, come on. Enough of the reinforcement waves. And done. Nothing. Right, let's get to this site.
Warp drive active.
Reload on the way in, of course. Because you don't want to have to reload rapid light missiles during a site. D-scan says no one on scan. Doesn't mean there's no one in here. They could be in a recon ship.
Warp drive active.
Because force recons are immune to combat, to D-scan. Is this untouched? Yes, it is. Okay. Because we know we've got like lots of range, we can just spam everything from here. We do need to approach the scout officer though. I'm going to put my drones out just to run interference. Drones can do frigates. I'm going to get the cruisers. Probably going to have to reload. That's a little bit annoying. Right, that's a commander gone, so we'll just kill the rest of the cruisers because they're the things that are doing the damage to me. Shield tank's not overly happy, but you know, I am in a public site. I'm not being quite as careful as I could be. I'm just being fairly efficient.
A module has run out of charges.
Okay.
A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges.
Do not like having to reload
out of charges.
Insights. It's really not good. Yes, the drones are kind of doing their own thing without being overly harassed, which is great. "35 seconds is like 6 months. It takes forever to reload these damn things." Right, good, we're back in action. No drones, no, not cruiser. You kill frigate. Right, tank is back under control now. He's knocked down all the cruisers but one. We're almost at the gate. I'm just going to double click just to one side of the gate so we keep moving, because if we land on the gate there's a chance we could well, A, we'd stop, and B, we'd like bounce off it. Right, good. Drone's back in. Reload. And go.
Warp drive active.
There's the telescope. Our range is 47. Now we're pretty much dead on. I will just snipe a few frigates on the way in. Just going to give ourselves one squirt of micro warp. Just want to knock down some of these little frigates, just to get them off the field. There we go. Knock down some of the incoming DPS, which is going to be landing on my face. We get rid of another few frigates. Put the drones out, they can go and start in the telescope. Along with me. Right, micro warp goes back on, so we get up close and personal with the telescope. Drones, you can just kill a frigate instead, please. Thank you. Tank is not overly happy, but I think the telescope's going to die before we do. That's the plan, at least. Or before we run out of goddamn ammunition. We've only got one left. Oh, crap. We're going to have to reload, aren't we?
A module has run out of charges.
Yep, there we go. That's not great. Right, so for 35 seconds I can't do anything, so I'm just going to double click away and get my speed up. And then double click back. That is really annoying. Just going to do some manual piloting just now, just to keep myself moving to reduce the amount of damage we're taking. Because there ain't nothing else I can do. Right, drones come back, ship, stop. Grab everything, get out before we die.
Warp drive active.
Oh, we're in armour, that's not great. Come on ship, warp please. Okay, that was not pleasant, but it was a 4 out of 10. We took way too many risks because it was a public one. We got absolute garbage loot, 65,000 in total for all that work and effort and risk. Oh, that's just appalling. I'll keep going. I might as well finish this route that I've planned, and if we get more escalations, then we'll have a little chat. Alright, some time has passed. We have found a heavy missile den, so let's see whether or not we can complete one of these without having to reload. That was the whole point of getting the Tech 2 missiles after all. So far so good, I think. Mix of cruisers and frigates. It's weird, but whatevs. The drones will eventually pick their own target. Right, cruisers and destroyers this time. Still don't think we're going to be able to complete the site without a reload. That's not great. No, here comes a reload.
A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges.
That's not great.
A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges.
We almost completed the site without a reload, but not quite. We did still have to reload, and that's really annoying.
Warp drive active.
Anyways, onwards and upwards. One way we could deal with that would be to spend some money and get like faction ballistic control systems to push the DPS up even more. Hey look, another den's just spawned behind us, so let's go and do that. That's another way of increasing the damage.
Warp drive active.
Okay, we've got enough missiles to just only just complete the light missile dens. We do not have enough to do either the 4 out of 10 sight or a heavy missile den. Interesting, duly noted. Right, we're back in station. I've had enough exploration for one day. We did manage to run a 4 out of 10. It didn't go on that well because it was a public site and I was rushing too much and making bad decisions. And the fit's not quite perfect, so we ran out of ammo twice and had to reload, and that meant we spent a total of 70 seconds in that site just sitting around, not doing anything, coming under fire. The shield tank even broke and we dipped into armour, which wasn't great. We found a total of 71 million Eskin stuff, most of which is this 1,000 rounds of Dread Guristas Inferno light missile. So the loot from that run wasn't great. We did get 2 escalations, both of them are deep in low sec, so I noped out of those. Is there anything I would change in this fit? Possibly yes. I did not like the fact that we could not run the heavy missile version of Dens when on a single reload. So we had to reload during those, and as I just said, in the 4 out of 10 we had to reload once in each room. So what we could try is removing the rapid light missiles and replacing them with heavy assault. Now, heavy assault do actually apply better than heavy launchers. It's not like torpedoes and cruise missiles. As you see, the power grid is not happy, so then we would just replace the microwatt drive with an afterburner. Power grid's still not happy, so then you replace the Cap Flux coil with a power diagnostic 2. Power grid's happy. Things kept stable with the afterburner running. That's another problem we had with the fit, so we couldn't really run the microwatt drive all the time to keep ourselves moving to reduce incoming damage, so that's something we could do. And then you would need to get some, like say, Scourge Rage heavy assault missiles. The DPS goes up from 621 to 785, so that's 160 more. That's a significant amount. The range is only 25k, which isn't great, but they do only reload in 10 seconds, so I mean, conceivably you could just not run Dens, because Dens will escalate to 5 out of 10s and you don't want to be running a 5 out of 10 in this fit. So you could just not do Dens and concentrate only doing hideaways and refuges, then get some 4 out of 10s, and then when you're running the 4 out of 10 you can refit. You can just carry these 6 or 7 modules. Like you can carry 5 heavy assault missile launchers, an afterburner and the power diag on your ship, go to the nearest station, refit, and then run the 4 out of 10s. Scourge Javelin heavy assault do give you decent range. I mean, that at 46 kilometers is enough to hit the telescope in the second room of the site, but then the DPS is only 490, which is significantly worse than the rapid lights at 621. But again, this reloads in only 10 seconds. Let's have a look at Navy. Yeah, Navy assault missiles, only 30 kilometers range, so you're probably best off just doing Scourge Rage. One thing you could possibly do then is remove a ballistic control and replace it with a missile guidance enhancer. Let's have a look at that. Because guidance enhancers enhance the range and the explosion radius and explosion velocity, which are the application. So that's maybe not the worst thing you can do. Range is 28. That's pretty good for hideaways and things that drop you at about 30. So that's one way you could change the fit. If I could be bothered, I would actually just go and refit this and take it out and run it again. Might do that at some point. Compare the run times and whether or not I'm happy with the reloads. But that's a way you can change your Orthrus. But usually Orthrus are run in the fit which we made, which is rapid lights. So it wasn't the most successful of days, but you know, 71 million isn't bad. We did get 2 escalations. RNG said no to them being in highsec. Only one of the commanders dropped anything of note, but the Orthrus works just fine. So come back next time and we'll pick a different pirate faction cruiser and we'll do the same thing all over again. Until then, do look after yourself, and I'll speak to you again very soon.